What's going on, champions? This is Julian Stout, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, and health teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness and help you become the best you. Plane's about to take off, classes in session. Guys, check this out. I came across this video, has nothing to do with fitness per se. Again, this channel is also about helping you become the best version of you that's possible. And as a married man, as a person who is married and in a relationship that's spanned 23 years and counting, there's going to be some things that pop up every now and then that makes me look at it and examine it and give you my perspective on it as well. So this particular one, I'm going to share my screen with you because this one is a doozy. So it says here, I'm going to move me out the way a little bit so you can see. Study reveals why having a shared bank account will make your marriage happier. I beg to differ, actually. I posted this specific question on Facebook earlier, and a lot of people weighed in on it. Some people believe that you should have separate accounts. Some people believe that it should be joint to a certain extent. Believe it or not, none of the people that answered that question believed that it should be this singular joint account. But let's hear what the lady had to say on this.
Now studies have proven this, which is great to have science backing up what you've always believed, is that married couples that share accounts, they actually have less likelihood of divorce, and they tend to have happier marriages. And you know why that is, you guys? It's not because of the money. Like we said last night, it's never about the money. It's this idea that they have a picture that we are together. That when we said I do on that wedding day, we are doing life together. We are locking arms and we are one. Fools, now studies have proven.
All right. So, as you heard, this is where I call BS on this. Because number one, sometimes you don't know the person you married until you married them, right? And you don't know if your spouse, male or female, is controlling with money, whether they are shisty with money, whether they're going to steal from the relationship in order to line their pockets up to secure the bag for themselves so that way that they're quote unquote good and they're safe, or they think that they're safe because they took several $1,000s out of the account. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my wife and I do not share bank accounts. We've never shared bank accounts. However, she will tell you, not just here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and on Facebook, anywhere you find her, she will tell you that I personally believe that there should be 4 bank accounts. Mine, yours, bills, investments. All right? Mine's, yours, bills, investments. So how does this work? And for those of you who are recently married or who are planning on getting married, trust me, this is the foolproof way. As a matter of fact, my cousin Willie Crawley actually said what I was going to say before I actually said it. My wife would tell you that this has been my philosophy for decades. It's just that financially we weren't able to do it until now. But how it works is that all the money goes into the bills, right? All the money goes into the bills or into the bill pile. Once the bills are paid, what money is left over, all the bills are paid. Once the money is left, what money is left over, you take it and you split it in 4. My account gets a quarter, her account gets a quarter, and the other half goes into savings / investments. In order to access the savings account, though, you need both signatures, not just one. So I can't go into the savings account and pull money from the savings account without my wife's permission. And my wife can't pull money out of the savings account without my permission. So it's a two-way street. So obviously there needs to be a conversation about where the money is going next. And obviously if it's going in investments, even if you're concerned about the relationship not lasting, it's an investment made during the marriage. So guess what that means? It's community property. So therefore, when the investments are made, and let's say, God forbid, you divorce, what you do is you split the proceeds 50-50, right down the middle, right? Whether you're the breadwinner or she's the breadwinner, down the middle 50-50. Because you each contributed to that investment. It's not I contributed more than you, because technically when you compiled your money into the bill account and paid all the bills out, what was left over now became equal. You split it 50-50, 25-25 actually. You split it 25-25, and the other 50% went into your investments and or savings account. So therefore, in my opinion, you should have at least 4. Now, if you're like me, who has a business as well, obviously the business came with the marriage, but technically the business has its own funding. So therefore, whatever money is in the business fund remains in the business fund unless that money is transferred over as a means of income. Because technically the revenue is not income until all bills are paid. And even then, you don't technically want to spend the revenue until the revenue is in the clear, that this revenue has been all the money that you intended on reinvesting back into the business, all the money that you intended on enhancing the business has already been spent on the business. Therefore, anything left over is now income. Far too many times people will just go in and spend the money, instead of investing and reinvesting inside of the business. So for instance, me as a personal trainer, I need to re-up my certifications, re-up my education, re-up on equipment, also upgrade the image so that way I look even more professional than I did the year before, and advertise the business as much as possible so that way people will begin to ask questions, people will begin to investigate, and people will then intrigue themselves into finding out what Stout Fitness is all about. Therefore, Stout Fitness now becomes more profitable. Okay? Once that happens, now you can take money and put it into the pot. And that money is profit. And that money is where you take and it goes back into the community pool if you so choose to, or it can be treated as extra money to do whatever it is that you see fit as the business owner, unless it is a joint business venture. Guys, I'm telling you this because I'm trying to 95%, and I'm just pulling this number out of my behind right now, but a lot of marriages end primarily because of finances. Nobody's relationship is immune to financial stress. And if you do not have a plan, if you do not have a method, an attack, and a program on how you're going to operate, I promise you, you will fail. And it is important that you guys take this time out and learn these things so that way it helps everybody stay on track, stay focused, and nobody feels slighted. Like she said, you feel like you're one. You're not trying to compete. You're not feeling like the other person is trying to manipulate the situation, because it's all in the open. Every dollar, every dime goes in, and it goes in and it pays bills, and then it goes into the different pots afterwards. Whatever you spend, now make sure, now in all fairness, somebody might have a more expensive lifestyle than the other one. And what I mean by that is this. I'm not talking about one person only spends $5 while the other person spends $5,000. That's not fair and that's not right. But I'm talking about, like, let's say I'll use me as an example. Let's say I spend $150 on gas, but my wife only spends $75. Then I'm going to be out money that I need in order to function, especially if the remaining proceeds does not equal enough for me to live on for the remainder of the month. I might need a little bit extra to be able to support the lifestyle I need to live in order to survive. So what does that mean? Hey, you spend less in gas than I do. Let me get an extra $75 for gas. Now, once it's done, that's it. So I better budget. And then if I get any extra money after, so let's say I do it and at the end of the month I got an extra $100. Then you know what? It is what it is. I have an extra $100 in my account. Leave it alone. That means I didn't spend an additional $25. I didn't spend an additional $25 that month. It rolls over to the next month, and it rolls over to the next month, and it rolls over to the next month, and then I got an extra $500 in my account. My wife does not. Does that mean I give my wife $250 back? No. Because my lifestyle actually required me to do it. Because what happens when gas goes up? I'm just as screwed the other way around, right? I'm gonna have to spend it all. So instead of doing that, make sure that everybody is equitable on their requirements for spending in terms of necessity spending, meaning you need gas, you need an oil change, you need to maintain your vehicle. All these things are being handled. And as a form of sacrifice, the savings account takes a little bit out, and that's what you handle the money with. But then whatever's left over from the savings, once you handle those small things, shouldn't be your whole entire savings and investment funds. You then take and invest the rest of it, and then watch it grow, watch it grow, watch it grow. And like I said, if you feel worried about your relationship ending, you ain't got nothing to worry about, because 50% of that money is in fact yours. So I'm going to land this plane. I don't know what study proved that it's not about the money, but it is about the money. Because I guarantee you, nobody, no matter how tight your relationship is, you turn around and you start playing funny with the money, it ain't gonna be pretty. So my advice is 4 accounts, 1 investment, 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for the bills, so that you can be the best you. Guys, if you have lasted this long, go ahead and click the like button. If you didn't like what you heard, click the dislike button. I'm good either way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Click the all notification button if you subscribe and get all the information that I put out. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is stout.